Muhammad. I'm Ashika. I'm your case manager. Thank you for coming in today. So before I start, I have to explain few things, and anything you say here is confidential. I'll be noting down just to keep track of what we talk about, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, and you can have a copy of it if you want.
Okay.
And Muhammad, during our conversation, if I find anyone at risk, or if I during our conversation, if I find that if you're trying to hurt yourself, then I have to report it. Yeah, so tell me about yourself.
Well, my name is Muhammad. I'm 65-year-old man. Currently, I'm living on the street for around 2 weeks. I'm homeless right now.
Yeah. And do you feel safe about your current situation?
No, not at all. Because I'm literally living on the street, so it's really scary.
Yeah. So, what other kind of difficulties are you facing beside like how you're not feeling safe because of those shelter? What other kind of difficulties are you facing?
Well, apart from being homelessness, the first troubling thing for me is my depression and my anxiety, which is really getting worse these days because I keep on literally thinking about things because a lot of things is going on in my life.
Yeah.
So I've been really depressed of that situation right now. So yeah, and apart from that, I will say my job, my source of income as well,
Yeah.
because I'm doing nothing right now.
That's true. So, so you mentioned about your relatives. How close are you with them?
I would say I'm not that close. I used to live with them before, like a few months ago, let's say. So they were nice at first, but then suddenly they were really mean to me. They were really annoyed whenever they see me. They even accuse me of stealing the things which I haven't done. One of my relatives, he even hit me around my face. That was really traumatizing. So I'm not that much close with them.
Yeah. So also, and you mentioned I went through your report as well, and you mentioned that in last 2 weeks you have been living in the street, and like you mentioned that you are not living anymore with your relatives. So how have you been managing your foods and all your needs?
Well, because I'm basically living on the street, so I just get service from the people walking around. If not that, in that case, I'll just steal it from some store because that's how I can make myself survive. That's how I can feed myself to be survived.
So, do you want me to contact your relatives again? So are you interested in living them with them again, or anywhere you want?
Well, I don't think that would be a good idea to contact them. I literally don't want to get in contact with any of them.
Yeah, that's okay. So, may I ask you what other kind of difficulties are you facing beside um, the homelessness that you are facing right now? Is there any other thing that's troubling you?
I would say my job because I'm not working. My depression, of course, which is getting very worse. I think that's the two things which is haunting me right now a lot.
That's true. So, so it's anxiety and depression that's troubling you, more with that your job and income sources also
Yes,
troubling
yes.
you. Okay. And do you have anyone in your family beside your relatives, your close ones?
Well, at the moment here, I'm just by myself. I have family, but they are all overseas. So let's say I'm just here by myself.
Okay. So Muhammad, I want to change to a new section. Let's talk about your employment and your interest. Would you be interested for that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you lived in apartment before, as you mentioned before, and so just if you could share what was your source of income before. I mean, your employment status, your full-time, part-time job.
Um, well, before I'm an artist,
Yeah.
so I used to paint a lot of stuff. I was a painter, so that's how I used to afford myself. That's how I used to spend my daily life by selling all of my works.
So painting it, that's beautiful. How do you feel about painting? Do you enjoy it?
I really love it. I really love it. That's the things I think that makes me feel alive.
That's beautiful. So can I ask you when was the time that you last painted, or when was the time, as you said, it was your full-time job. So when was the time when you last painted, or you sold your painting for the last time?
I would say probably it's around a year ago. Yeah, it's already been a year. After that, I just stopped doing it.
Yeah. So are you still interested in painting, or are you still continuing doing it?
Right now, I don't feel like doing it because of my depression. I don't feel like doing painting that much these days. I just feel lack of interest on that thing.
So, as you mentioned about your painting about your career and your interest too, so what type of painting is your, like, what type of paintings do you do? Your interest in painting, like nature sketch? What type?
Um, I do a lot of nature painting. So, like most of my painting, what I used to sell before, I think it's like 95% of them is like based on the nature. So I just go walk around or sit around nature, do a lot of sketch of that thing. So I would say yeah, I love nature painting a lot.
So, as you said, nature painting. I guess you have traveled a lot of countries inside and out. I guess you have done a lot of traveling.
Yes, I think I have traveled more than 20 countries around the world. Yeah.
Yeah. So, can I ask you again? Would you be interested in going back to your painting interest again, or would you like to continue as your career again? Would you be interested?
At the moment, I will say no. At the moment, yeah, I would say no.
Okay.
'Cause,
So, what if I talk about exhibition? So not painting, but what if I like manage something like exhibition, workshops? Would you be interested to go for an art exhibition?
yeah, sure, I'll love to. I'll love to.
So, and if I find any community centers or workshop or art exhibition in our local community that's nearby you, it's where you can have easy access, I could definitely share more detail with you. You can have a try.
Yeah, I will
If-
give it a try. That'll be great. Thank you.
Yeah, because I'm wondering that might bring changes, some, that might help you a
Okay,
lot.
yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. So, um, so when did you decide to discontinue painting? Like why and how did you decide?
Um, like years ago, everything went back then when it was fine. I was doing well, but then suddenly when I used to think a lot about my life, when the depression hits me a lot,
Yeah.
I will say like because lack of my interest and lack of my time, I couldn't put that much effort on the painting.
Yeah.
So I will say because of that, I just stopped doing.
Yeah. So Muhammad, like how, like your salary is not stable right now. If I like provide you a good space for painting, good time frame for painting, good resources, would you be interested to at least to give your time around 1 to 2 hours a day?
Well, yeah, if you say so, then of course I will give it a try. That would be really nice for me as well. That's how maybe I can just escape from my depression. Yeah, I would love to try that.
Yeah, let's give a try for that. So, as you mentioned about anxiety and depression, so have you ever visited a counselor or been to a counseling session?
No, actually, this is my first time seeing you.
Okay, so well, Muhammad, I few organizations like Mission Australia, NSW, homelessness NSW, they will provide more facility and more resources for the real recent problem. Would you be interested if I talk more on this
Yeah,
organization?
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's one Mission Meet that's just in walking distance from your place, where right now you have been right
Mhm.
now. So they provide immediate support, access food, shelter, medical care, and also they provide refer to specialists. That's the best benefit I can see. I won't foresee for this. We will discuss. We have lots of other organizations too. We will discuss more. We will communicate a lot on this, and we will come up to the conclusion of our this organization that I will refer to you. Yeah. So we have come to last part. We have come to a conclusion now. Is there anything you want to add on, or comments you want to make?
Um, if you don't mind, can I have like a printout copy about the information of the organization so I can have a look on that as well?
Ah, okay. So maybe I will also provide you some printout, and also in our next session, I will focus more on organization, where we can go deeply on that.
Yeah,
And
sure.
yeah. So if there's any issue, you can just give me a call, and definitely if you're interested, for the next class, are you?
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah. So I will see you next week, and hopefully we'll have a little bit of good news.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
18